edition of the Sports Zone, we roll out the welcome mat to Mississippi State's Athletic Director, Scott Stricklin. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Stricklin. We have a plethora of questions to ask you.
I appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
Well, it's no secret that Mississippi State has a smaller budget compared to the other SEC schools for athletic facilities and things like that, and the fans and the athletes have seen major updates in the facilities. Do you think this is going to put us on an even playing field with other SEC schools and recruiting and stuff like that?
Well, that's certainly the goal, and you know, we try not to get too focused on a budget number. When you walk into any football stadium and look up at the scoreboard, there's no dollar signs up there. We're competing, you know, to see who scores the most points, not to see who has the most revenue generated. But obviously, the dollars help you create some facility things and some other resources that give you the best chance to compete. And we feel really good about the strides we've made there. In the next couple of years, we're probably going to commit to over $100 million in just football alone for facility projects, and that doesn't count the new Mize Pavilion for basketball and the other track updates and other updates we're doing across our facilities. And facilities say a lot about you, and it's really important that you invest in those wisely and make good use of your resources.
Right. Well, I know this past offseason we had a little bit of a scare. There was a lot of talk about Coach Mullen, your head coach, possibly going to Miami, Florida. I think maybe even Michigan was thrown in there at some point. So were you ever really worried that you were going to lose your head ball coach?
You know, Dan's done a great job, and it's our goal to create great experiences for our fans, our student athletes, and our coaches and our staff. We're going to be very aggressive financially from a salary standpoint to make sure that we do everything we can to retain quality coaches. Dan and Megan, I think, realize that this is a special situation, a special time. And you look across the college athletics landscape, and you see a Frank Beamer at Virginia Tech, a Chris Peterson at Boise State, a Gary Patterson at TCU. I think more and more it's becoming the trend of people going somewhere and building something that they can call their own, right, and sustaining it over a long period of time. And that's certainly the opportunity we have in front of us. And Dan's done a great job, and really excited about the strides we've made, and look forward to him being here for years to come.
Excellent.
Well, you spoke about the experience and how you're really trying to vamp up the fan experience and the alumni involvement and things like that. And I, as a former student athlete, have seen all the changes that have gone on and the more fans coming in. What exactly have you done these past couple of years to ensure that there are more fans at volleyball games, soccer games, not only football? Well,
it's not what I've done. It's what everybody associated with this university has done, and it starts with having a great student body that has a lot of pride in the university, and hiring coaches and other staff members to understand how to sell our programs and generate some of that excitement, and then just trying to think outside the box and, you know, what can we do to be different. We're not trying to copy what other athletic departments are doing. We're trying to do something that's unique for Mississippi State, and we've got a great university. We have a lot of momentum right now, and it's our job each and every day when we wake up to try to figure out how to create those great experiences and maintain the momentum that we've got right now.
Right. Well, speaking of fan excitement, I know one of the things that has been talked about a lot ever since I got to Mississippi State is the possible horseshoe of the stadium. So do you have a realistic timetable at this point?
Well, I joke that it seems like we have more architects on payroll than we do coaches, because we've got a lot of different facility projects going right now. But and anytime you start talking about facilities, you realize that those things are very flexible as far as timelines. But I think a realistic timeline is to try to get all of our preliminary work done, all of our approvals through the State College Board done within the next 8 to 10 months, and get it bid out and to get it started by next summer, so that by the 2014 season, which I know for you know, people who are in college, that seems like a long time away, but that's just 3 short years away, have that expanded stadium where we can, you know, go from 55,000, which is our current capacity, to 62,000 maybe, or 63,000, and kind of just continue to add more opportunities for people to come and experience the great atmosphere at Davis Wade.
Absolutely.
Speaking of Davis Wade, that also holds the M Club building, and how has the merging of the Bulldog Club and the foundation really affected things with alumni giving, things like that? Well,
it's very minimal, and it's you know, this is separate and apart from the MSU Foundation, which raises money for academic needs on campus. They do a great job. We have had for a couple decades 2 different athletic department fundraising arms, and all we're doing is just saying, you know, let's put these together. Let's have one group, the Bulldog Club, going out there raising dollars to help provide scholarships, help provide facility support, and also help provide, back to your question, competitive coaching salaries to make sure that we're positioned as good as we can be, and it makes us more efficient. It cleans up some confusion that people have, and I think it's going to be a really strong piece for us going forward.
All right, well, great. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Stricklin. We always love having you on the show.
Thank you very much.
Now, when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about Notre Dame's game on Saturday against South Florida in the rain. Talk about whether that was a fluke or if that's going to be a constant thing for them. We'll also talk about Ole Miss's game with BYU and what that means for their season. Stay tuned.